All right, it's a lovely Tuesday morning. It's supposed to get up to 51 today, I think. So, kind of like that. There's back view of the tailgate. Ain't she cool? But that's not what this video is about. I'm going to work on a Bronco today. I need to clean up my mess from yesterday's activities a little bit. And then we need to pull the cover off that, move a few things, fire that up, and we're fitting to pull in a Bronco. Alright, we got the Jewel uncovered. Let's see if it'll run. And then we'll get to the... Uh-oh. Bet you the battery's dead. Well, we'll see. Actually, I just opened that door, so maybe it's not dead. It hasn't run in, I don't know, a month probably. There it goes. And there it went. She's a little loaded up there. Alright, we'll let her warm up. Now if you like these kind of videos, I know it's early on. This car is going to get an Tremac overdrive transmission, some aluminum heads. I may redo the engine, I'm not sure. All that's coming fairly soon once I accumulate the parts. I love this car. I built this car once, but it has a couple of problems. No overdrive, which makes it terrible for highway use. Just screams. And it's always had a problem with detonation. It has number 12 Pontiac heads, so I'm gonna put aluminum heads on it and overdrive, and I think that'll make this thing pretty close to perfect. And I'm gonna change the tack. Don't that thing sound awesome?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Alright, as bad as we want to take that for a ride, we've got to fire up the dually out there, move it out the way. We got to uncover the Bronco and clean up this floor a little bit and pull the Bronco in. Alright, we got her uncovered. Young man's busy. I'd use a flat point shovel though.
We don't have one.
Yeah, we do. And the tarp leaked and the seat's a little wet. Or maybe we spilled it in there when we took the cover off. But either way, this is the Bronco. Let's see if it'll run. Alright, it's been here, I don't know, about a week, I guess. Let's see. Choke don't work apparently. Well, she's got good oil pressure. Alright, we're going to let her warm up a little bit and do the old car switch around here. First observations are something squealing under the hood. And it has one too many pedals. It just got switched to a C4 automatic. I'm gonna have to remove that. That'll bug the crap out of me. Fat boy couldn't do these seats. That's too hard to get in and out of. Alright, here's one thing we've got to install on the old Bronco. Let's do a quick walk around of it, shall we? It's pretty nice. A guy at work I work with bought this thing. Apparently he's a little bit of an old soul. He's a lot younger than me, but he's a good guy. He wears socks with his shoes, so I can respect that. But the thing just needs a little TLC. We need to see about how to move that shifter. It's just been converted to automatic, but that shifter rubs my leg, and he's tall like me, so probably rubs his too. So we'll see what we can do about that. We need to tighten that shifter up. We need to get rid of the third brake pedal. We need to add steering stabilizer. And it's got something weird going on with the brakes, I think, so we'll see what we see. But she's pretty spiffy. It's got fancy Corbeau seats. New sound bar. Yeah. Alright, let's raise the hood. I think that's a little 302 in there. It runs really good. The choke apparently isn't functioning. Does it have one? I guess that's why it ain't functioning, huh? But it's got some stuff here we gotta fix, you know. It's just little things. Just little things. It ain't got no choke. That's why it don't work. And we got something squalling here. Probably a loose belt or something. Oh yeah, the alternator belt's loose as can be. Anyways, we'll work on some of that stuff. First, let's see about this steering stabilizer. She's all over the road and is a handful. What's that you say?
Why did you do that?
That's an excellent question, son. I'm getting ready to tell you. I'm not hanging the shock because it's done something awful. I got to extend it to 4.44 inches out, which is exactly halfway its travel. So this is the way I figured I'm going to do it. Let's see if it works. Oh, works like a champ. I better make sure I don't go too far. 4.4 inches. 4.44 inches. That's just under a half inch. For those of you in, well, you know where you are. Alright, perfect! Alright, cut. Alright, we got the stabilizer on. It's gonna work, but the hardware ain't that good. I stripped the U-bolts out real easy. So, I double nutted them on the good threads, but I ain't too impressed with it. It's gonna be fine the way it is, but you might want to get new U-bolts whenever if you get one of those like that. One thing I noticed up under here, somebody never put the nuts on the body mounts, for Pete's sake. On the front anyways. And my buddy here lets his wife drive it sometimes, so I guess I ought to put some nuts on there for him, huh? Alright, we got some nuts on the front body mounts. I had to run a die on that one. This ain't had no nuts on it in forever. Now I'll feel stupid if there's a nut inside that washer, but I don't believe it is. I noticed we got a little antifreeze leak. But I think that's coming from the overflow hose up high. And then judging from the rusty stains, I'd say she needs to be flushed. But here's something. Look at there. That's just before being real bad news. That's the hot wire from the starter to the battery. Yep, gonna have to fix that. Look at that. It's a miracle that didn't that was up against the exhaust manifold. Burned to the copper. It's a miracle that didn't lock on and melt her down. Anyways, we can fix that. I tightened up the fan belt, the alternator belt. That's all it's got. I think that'll do. There ain't no more adjustment. It'll need a new belt probably. I spotted under there somebody's got a, he said he was going down the interstate and it was like it was running out of fuel. Well, I noticed there's a fuel filter about midway back. Should not have one there. The fuel filter should be from the fuel pump up, in my opinion. So let me look at that a little bit. Let's see what I figure out. There's a fuel line there. But I don't see one there. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Doggone it, buddy. We keep running into stuff. So I sent Mama to get a new battery cable since I ain't got one. I noticed these bolts were stripped out and loose. The solenoid was loose. That's why it wouldn't catch fire and burn driving down the road, because this isn't hot unless it's cranking. That cable that was melted. But it could, while it's cranking, short out against the manifold. And once she's shorted out, could be bad news. But we're going to fix that. So, I noticed earlier that it was leaking from the bottom. That's because that thing's out the radiator. I'm going to have to see if I can weld that in. I think that's because the hose is too short. Anyways. Oh yeah, somebody tried to glue it in there. That ain't gonna work. Alright, let me pull that out there. So I gotta lower the coolant level just a little bit so I can solder that, but eek! Might need to flush the radiator for him while I'm at it here. Well, that's not my best work ever, but I did get it on there and I think it's stuck. And we're still draining rusty sludge out of the radiator. So now I need to find a longer piece of this, and Mama done brought the battery cable so I can put that on. So I'm listening to the radio, as I do. I got to turn it off every time I turn the camera on. But there's an ad for Kia, and it says, what you want is, and it has in the background a V8, clearly a V8 roaring through the gears. I don't think any Kias sound like that. You know, I'm just saying. Look at, I was putting the fuel filter on here instead of under the body. Fuel pump should push the fuel, not pull it through a fuel filter. At least that's what I've always been knowing or thinking. And then I was looking at that, I just noticed vacuum advance isn't hooked up. It's just looped back upon itself. Now, I'm not a Ford guy, as you might tell by the name of my channel, but I don't know. I need to figure out why that is. Maybe it don't work. I don't know why it's got two ports. Probably something complicated for emissions years or something like that. You can see right there, there's a pretty good sized puddle under the old girl, just sitting here. Transmission. I don't know, I'm theorizing that the oil pan's got a little hole in it, so I just cleaned it off. I can't see where it's leaking anywhere else, really. There's a little drip there on the shifting shaft, but I don't know. We'll figure it out here. Now, as soon as I get done fixing this shifter, Mrs. Heavy Chevy don't know it yet, but she's gonna help me bleed the brakes. Make sure the brakes are bred. I mean, brakes are bled.
Yay!
It's always a fun time. I really got myself into a mess with this shifter. I ain't nothing to do but see it through. Now, what were you saying?
How come this stuff doesn't work?
It works just fine.
It says supports positive mood and mental calm and focus.
You should see if I don't take it. Alright, I had to get serious here. I had to move the center console out the way so I could take this off, which turns out to be a fiberglass cover. And then that enabled me to get the shifter out. I don't think there's I'm going to be able to save the shifter. This was cut off because where it's mounted, put the shifter about it in your leg. So it was moved to the side, but this is aluminum. I thought it was just, you know, the old-fashioned good stuff where you could bend and weld, but not so here. So the only way I got to weld aluminum is a acetylene torch. And I ain't very good at it. So I got to study on this a minute. I got to study on it.
Oh, you were good at everything.
Well, almost everything. Alright, tore into this thing, and I made the determination I can't save that shifter. So I told the man who owns it what he needs to buy, and I think I'm going to get a B&M Quicksilver shifter for it. So obviously that's going to take a couple days, but that's okay. This ain't as daily. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut off that clutch lever and clean some stuff out of the seat, and then I'm going to engage Mrs. Heavy Chevy, who's out there painting something, God only knows what, to pump the brakes, see if we got air in the line, see what ails the brakes on this thing. Well, I think we're going to need to buy a new fan belt. That one ain't going to get it, even though I tightened it up. That ain't gonna get it. Alright, let's see about the brakes. I'm letting it warm up. I got radiator flush in it right now. I'm gonna bleed the brakes and then say run it 10 minutes. I'm gonna go down and flush the radiator. Well, there's no air in it in the front. It's a little low on power steering fluid though. Maybe I better fix that. So I put the power steering fluid in it, and then while I was at it, I said, let's check I said to myself, let's check the vacuum advance. Seems to work. Seems to not leak. I don't know why we wouldn't hook it up. Do you? Alright, I'm going to take her down and flush the radiator real good. And put some antifreeze in it. I'll have to bring you back when I get a shifter. We'll put the shifter in it. And then we'll take it for a ride. What you doing, B?
Painting.
I see that. I can see that. But what are you painting?
Oh, the part to the...
The whatchamajigger? The play dishwasher. And making supper? What? What? Alright, we got some clean antifreeze in it now. Grab that jug, bud. We need to add just a scotch more. Can you do it?
Yeah.
See, you forgot how I told you to hold the jug.
That's probably good enough, right?
Just a scotch more. Alright, okay. Oh, stop! Alright, thermostat's open. You can see it circulating. Go ahead and put the cap on. I think we're going to take it for a little ride. I'm not going to camera that because there's no top on it. It'll be so loud you won't hear nothing, no way. But we're going to take it for a ride. Alright, we pulled the old girl in the shop. I wonder what them scratches are from. Anyways, that's not the why I came out here. Oh, I gotta sit this down for a second. Put up the hood prop. Can't do it one-handed. This thing runs really good. but the brakes aren't the greatest. I think it's got something to do with the bore size of this master cylinder. I need to investigate that. But need to install the shifter. I'm having to shift it by the cable and putting a screw through it so I can pull it into drive or reverse. That's kind of unhandy, but workable. So that's it for me tonight. I'm gonna go take it easy. After all, I'm on vacation.